Hi everyone, this is Christine Hoffman, a holistic and functional registered dietitian. Welcome to Restore Your Health. This segment is going to be on nervous system regulation. I get a lot of feedback from my clients that, they work in stressful jobs, they experience stress on a daily basis. In fact, we all really do, whether it's environmental, emotional, um, lots of stressors in our daily lives. So, how can we regulate our nervous system? This segment is going to be about nervous system regulation and why this is so important when we're talking about all aspects of our health, longevity, mood regulation, hormonal regulation, metabolic regulation. Every thought we have stimulates different hormones in our body. If we are caught in thought loops, patterns of, rumination about the past or specific events that happened, when we are laying in bed and we cannot fall asleep and we're losing sleep at night, these are serious implications of having a dysregulated nervous system. And these are things that we can change. When we have high levels of cortisol, this is from, simply a pattern or way of thinking that emits a different hormone that disrupts our nervous system, mainly cortisol. So, things that we want to address, I talk about root causes of, whether it's losing weight, whether it's feeling stuck, whether it's, you're trapped in a thought loop pattern, thinking about the past, whether you have feelings of anxiety, depression, whether you've gone through something that is just stressful or that you're grieving through. Ways to pinpoint the root cause is by simply addressing the thought pattern. We need to start with the thoughts that we're thinking, because these lead to emotional feelings, which lead to our hormonal cycles either being regulated or dysregulated. And this is upsetting the nervous system. So a lot of reframing we can talk about. And when we are thinking about getting stuck in a thought loop pattern or having thoughts that do not serve us, right? That we're talking badly about ourselves. We're, calling ourselves name, and this could be internally, right? This could be your own thoughts, your narration, self-narration. So let's talk about thoughts that you think about yourself, because what you think about yourself and how you talk to yourself in private is how others are going to treat you in public. So if you are very, disrespectful to yourself, if you don't talk to yourself very nicely, very much with care, that, you say really, not nice things to yourself, like gross, I'm stupid, and things like that. Even when you say it like as a joke or intending it as a joke, there still is weight in those words, and your body feels that, the truth of that. And so we need to start there. And a lot of us are on autopilot and we don't realize the thoughts that we are thinking, even toward ourselves. So it could be a practice where we intentionally recognize our thoughts. And I'm here today to show you that we are able to change our thoughts when we simply slow down, when we perform a task slower, when we speak slower. We have time to be more mindful about our words and what they are, so that we can assess if these words are serving us in an optimal way or if they are not serving us. So a simple practice to try is to, for like 2 or 5 minutes, put a timer on, because practices take time and we become overwhelmed when we don't set aside a specific time for ourselves to do these practices. We, set too high of expectations and we try to do it all day, and that means we're not really like doing it very mindfully, and we just end up not doing any practices or nothing at all. So set a timer for 2 to 5 minutes, and in that time you're going to be going about your day. Do this at an easier time to begin with. So something that, like a household chore, or just like picking up, or perhaps going on a walk, going to get the mail. Set something simple that you do. And during this time, start to really intentionally be mindful of your thoughts. Kind of zoom out of yourself as an objective, like, viewer of yourself, and start to listen to the thoughts that are coming in to your mind, because our subconscious is full of wisdom. When we recognize what kinds of things we're allowing in, we can consciously say yes to this or no to this. But our thought patterns, become automatic when we aren't, being as mindful as we wish to be. And so this is a practice to become very, very mindful about what our system is kind of programmed to say. So first of all, we want to recognize the program that is running in our head. These aren't necessarily, our core values, and it's not necessarily who we are. Our automatic program, when when unintentionally running, these are words that other people, most likely our caregivers from our past, have said to us, and we chose, maybe intentionally or unintentionally, we were very young, but it might still be running. We chose to believe those things as being true about ourselves, when they in fact could be very, very untrue and could be the source of resistance or stress in ourselves. So, the core here are things like shame or guilt, this leads to like people pleasing or isolation or self-abandonment, right? So we want to create conscious awareness of our what's been playing um, in our processing center in our mind, unconsciously, subconsciously, um, kind of like on autopilot, right? We want to stop the autopilot and we want to start recognizing what that system is playing, what it's saying, right? If you catch yourself, ooh, this is really, really good. This is a great starting point when something is on autopilot and you catch yourself thinking, oh, I could never do that. Oh my goodness, what? Okay, pause. We have something juicy here. Who said that to us? Because that's not a soul contract. That's not something a true soul would ever say. Someone told us that and we chose to believe it. And so we need to rework and question, why did I think that? Where along the line in the past did someone tell me that? And when did I choose to believe that? So first off, we all need to understand that we came here to Earth in this lifetime for a reason. It is such a miracle that we are living, that we ended up in a human form body in this lifetime. Like, the chances are just so supernomical. I don't think that's a word, but it's no it's no it's very true that you are here for a reason. There is like nothing random about you being here at all. So, before you came to Earth, you signed a contract to fulfill a certain mission on this Earth. And that's what we call alignment. When you feel exuberant or expansion, when you're doing something, when you're being your true, authentic being, your soul, when you're living from that truth. And when we are not living in that truth, we call that resistance. That's, stress. That's when we don't feel fulfilled and completely satisfied. And that's when people sometimes might reach for food. That's when people might sometimes reach for substances. That's when sometimes people cope and feel like they have anxiety or depression or battling certain types of chronic illnesses, right? So when we're working with in our alignment, we are very vibrant and exuberant and healthy. We feel expansion and peace and calm and love, because that's the center of our being. That's every soul is peaceful, it's calm, it's love, it's present. And so this is a way to regulate or start regulating your nervous system, to lower cortisol, to release addictions, to start your journey into alignment, so that you can alleviate stress in your life. You can alleviate hardships on your body, chronic illnesses, pain in the body. So we are talking this year, especially in 2026, about nervous system regulation. And it starts with slowing down, being mindful about your thoughts and what thoughts you're thinking. Are they your thoughts? Or are they thoughts that are not serving you and someone else told you these and you chose to believe them? Okay, so getting down to the core essence of you. Who are you? What do you believe? And first of all, what are you thinking on autopilot? Are your thoughts serving you? What is the story that you're writing? Is your story full of past drama that you're bringing in? We don't have to tell that story anymore. We can write a new story, and that's going to be in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps. I was called to make this video. I know it's going to help someone out there. And please do consider sharing this with anyone. It would really help get the message out there. And I'm just very thankful to have this opportunity to share and, to bring people who are looking for relief into alignment, to help support their true power and to empower everyone out there, because everyone out there is so powerful. We just have to remember how powerful we are. And you can definitely take back your power and stop leaking energy by living in resistance. We want to live empowered with lots of power and vibrant energy and health and wealth by living in our true alignment. Have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching.